Okay, so I'm vlogging, and it's that time of night where everybody else is gone, but me. No, I did have to work on some stuff a little extra today, and so yeah, I'm getting out a little later than usual today. Okay, so also I figured out why I'm always messing with my hair in videos. A couple of people have mentioned it bugs them. Sorry, not sorry, because it's so thin. When you have thinning hair and then you look at a video and it's just like, look, you can see straight through it. That is not nice. Oh, I don't know. And then look, it's just stringy. Whatever. Okay. Ouch. Here's another thing I've learned. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all about something. So y'all know I bought a real Chanel jumbo from the Real. No, I'm sorry, from What Goes Around Comes Around. And like many of my high-end bags, they are often pre-loved. And but this one was still very expensive because it was almost brand new. There is not one scratch on this baby, but it's not brand new. I couldn't have afforded it brand new. But actually, here's why it's not available. It is brand new, and it is at full price. A little less, just a little less, because it's pre-owned. But anyway, gosh, y'all, I'm starting to sound winded just getting on the elevator. That's not cool. So, oh, look at my little jacket. Look how it's long. Isn't that cute? And it matches my fingernails again. I'm back to being mint green again. But you can't tell in this light because it's terrible lighting. But it makes me look younger for a minute. Look, can you see now? Mint green. Can you see? Okay, so I'm leaving. Where did I park today? Oh yeah, I got another really awesome parking place this morning, but anyway. Okay, so, about the Chanel. Y'all, it's just not practical. I love Chanel, the brand, as far as the quality, the style, being both classic and modern. I wouldn't call it trendy because Chanel sets trends, so they're not trend followers, they're trend setters. Every time I hear that bird, it sounds like the mockingjay. Do you hear that? Is that a blue jay? No kidding, that's exactly what it sounds like. Okay, I wore this purse, which is going to totally negate what I'm fixing to say. The past 2 days when it's been pouring down rain, but both days I was so worried about it because it's an expensive purse. I was explaining why it's so expensive. Because it is, I got it through What Goes Around Comes Around. So it isn't brand spanking new, but it says new with bag. And to be honest with you, it wasn't the right bag, dust bag. And it didn't have a store receipt. It didn't come in its Chanel box. So to me, if you were going to tout that something is brand new, it should have those things, because then you can ask more for it. And rightfully so. Because if I need to turn around and sell it, I have those things to offer so that I can sell it more expensive. And this is truly an investment piece. I try to be careful with it because odds are it's not that sentimental to me. It's my first bag okay, let's put it this way. It's not my first Chanel. It was my dream Chanel. Can I put it that way? It's the jumbo and it's the caviar instead of the lamb. It is, whenever I say that, you do have to reconcile the fact that it's not cruelty free. I even have dreams about this stuff, y'all. I don't know. I eat meat. I wear leather products. I work for a chicken company. So, there's that. But then at the same time, I love animals. So it's a tough thing for me to square in my mind. That's just me. I know y'all don't really care to hear about all that. But anyway, bottom line is, so, hold on. I'm putting it down. I love the little noise it makes. That may have been why someone gave it away. That may annoy some people. I love it. I love that it has that. Because you can hear the leather in the chain. And I have to admit on my other ones you can't. So it does make me wonder about them because they were substantially cheaper. The reason I got this one through What Goes Around Comes Around is because you can't get this particular jumbo caviar black, the size, the texture, in store anymore. You can't get it. Or I couldn't find it. So when I saw it, I thought I was getting a deal. But it really is full price. So anyway, and that's why I also put it on Affirm. Affirm, I've told you guys about this before if you want to invest in handbags. Now look, I know not everybody can do this, so don't overextend yourself. If you can't, don't do it. This may be the last time I do it, but Affirm lets you make payments, and then when you set it up, you do it all online. It's a very quick process. When you do it, don't do it too quick. Think it through while you're doing what you're doing, but you choose what your payment options are. Now, what do I mean by that? You choose, do you want to make 4 payments? Do you want to make 12 payments? Because remember, as you lengthen the time, the payment gets smaller. Like if you do 12 payments, that's, once a month, you're making a payment for however many years it takes you to pay it off. So there'll be smaller payments, but it takes longer. And when you do that, there's more interest. And I think this time I did do monthly because it was a lot, but I planned to pay it off early, but that built in all that extra interest, and it was a substantial extra. So if you can, like on all my other ones, I've made them like 3 payments, 3 large payments, so that I can just get it paid off. And it was a way to have the item and finance it versus putting it on a card, because it's actually cheaper than the APR on a credit card, the finance rate. Affirm is something that I have enjoyed using, and I feel like they're fair for what they do. And I'd rather use them than a credit card. Plus, some items have been over my limit, and I'll tell you why. I'm glad I did this in some ways. No, I'm glad I did this. When I set up the 3 credit cards I have, 2 of them I've zeroed out. Well, all 3 of them I've zeroed out. My Amex, I have a Visa, a MasterCard, and Amex. And my Visa, MasterCard, I've zeroed them out, debt-free. Amex, I did the same thing, but there's a monthly charge from my Children's International, when I am sponsoring children overseas. So I feel like that's worth it. My Amex also is a Delta frequent flyer or Delta card, and so I get points using that card. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, then I would rather than do it on my debit card, because that's, I don't like using my debit card for stuff like that. I'll use my Amex card, and that way, why am I telling you about my financial strategies? Because it might help you. That way, I'm getting points, frequent flyer points, and I'm not taking it directly out of my checking account, which I don't like to do that. I don't like anybody going directly into my checking account. If I make a purchase using my debit card, I always ask them to make it credit, which I know it does charge them a little bit more. But you have insurance if somebody is fraudulent, whereas if you make it a debit charge, or debit, not charge, but debit deduction, there's no insurance. And sometimes they don't back you on it. Banks don't always back you on that should there be something fraudulent happening. So let me not be your financial advisor, but just keep that in mind. Anyway, what I've found out, though, since I've had this Chanel, is because it's my most expensive one yet. Because it was kind of my dream bag. It's the one I wanted. I thought, if you don't get this one, it's not in stores. You're not going to be able to find it again later. You can do it on Affirm, so you could pay over time, but not too much time. That's why I did it. And so it's my most expensive elongated purchase. But I feel like I can't wear it everywhere. 2 reasons. One, it's even the jumbo, it's smaller than I thought it'd be. And which is good. It makes me not carry as much. I have learned from carrying it that I prefer an open top style, meaning a zipper top that I generally leave open versus always having to pull open the flap. And because it's a double flap, when you open it, you have to pull the other flap up, that protects what I think was meant to be in there as a wallet. And so it protects, anybody from pickpocketing you. And of course, Chanel, this was in Paris. And that happens in any major city. But anyway, and so it's kind of harder to get things in and out of. And I have to be so careful because I don't want anything to happen to it. So I almost didn't carry it the past 2 days because it was raining. But then I totally negate all this because it was raining and I did carry it and it was fine. But if I want it to be an investment bag, meaning I may turn around in 5 years and resell this, hopefully for what I bought it for and maybe even a profit, this is an investment bag. I shouldn't wear it too much, So should I have done that? I don't know. My two Givenchy's were my next most expensive because one of them, the beige one's new, and the other one is not a collector's item, but you can't find it, the one with the studs on it, the black one. And I did do those with a firm. No, wait, I did Barney's with the beige one. Remember y'all walking that with me, helping me make the decision if I was going to do it. And I did make payments to Barney's, and I did on the black one, I made payments to, I think it was the Real or Tradesy. No, it was Real. And but both of those, I even feel I'm very careful with them because they're not even caviar leather. Texture, it's the texture, so that kind of keeps it from getting quite as nicked up. But I am careful with them too. But it's all the other bags, like my Coach bags, my Louis Vuitton, those, they're fine. I'd wear them anywhere. I don't worry about them as much. Well, some of them. My Brahmins, they're very beautiful, but they're very delicate. And so I am very careful with those. So there's very few that I feel like I could go out in the rain. Mainly Louis Vuittons. They're made tough. They're made for travel. As my husband says, they're not as pretty because they're just brown with the LV. But I like them, except for my black one that has LVs. But anyway, so that's what I have to say about my pretty little Chanel that I do enjoy. But I would caution y'all, I wish I'd thought more about such a large investment as just an investment piece. Is it worth it if I don't feel like I can carry it much so it'll stay an investment, stay in good shape? Because I'm tough on my purses just like I'm tough on my shoes. So what do y'all think? Comment below. Anyway, it's also kind of a dream bag. Been there, done that. And you know what you realize? You always want something more. Jesus warns us against that. He calls it the continual lust for more. And that's why sometimes I pray, Lord, have I done the wrong thing with all these purses? All right, well, I love y'all. Bye.